Disclaimer, I do not dislike CinemaSins, and that is not a lie. For my next Everything Wrong with CinemaSins video, I'm going to be seeing their video on Toy Story, and I would like to give a thanks to Jay Exci, DL Van, and Torb for requesting this video. Enjoy the video, everyone. First of all, I noticed that while this says in 9 minutes or less, which is correct because this is what your Sin title reads, I saw that your video title says 10 minutes or less instead. What's up with that?
47 seconds of logos.
Jimmy complains about the logos cliche.
Words N, school spelled with a K. How old is Andy supposed to be in this movie again? Because unless it's 6, he should know better. Either that or he made all these box buildings as a 6-year-old and is still playing with them years later, which is just sad.
To answer your question, Andy turned 6 years old in this movie. And also, I see you play with stuff you played with when you were younger as a way to relive old memories, not as something sad.
Brought my attack dog with a built-in force field. Well, I brought my dinosaur who eats force field dogs.
Children's imaginations.
Well, it's fun to come up with creative things like this if you ask me.
Computer animation baby collects another soul if you look it directly in the eyes.
Okay, so how is that a sin?
Andy is addicted to Woody.
But he didn't get damaged, did he?
Household has a Super Nintendo system, but apparently no games to play with it.
Or maybe the games are somewhere else near the TV, which is why they aren't visible in this shot.
Also, Andy has a Super Nintendo, but would still rather play with Woody dolls. Probably because of the lack of games, I'm guessing.
Well, toys became very common in the late 20th century. And as someone born in the early 2000s, even though I loved video games, and I still do, I played with a lot of toys when I was growing up.
Pull my string, the birthday party's today?
With the sheer number of toys strewn around this house and Woody's apparent wealth of logic and street smarts, there is no way he would get the date of the birthday party wrong.
Well, everyone forgets things from time to time, so I could see how Woody would forget that Andy was having his birthday party before the move.
I'm Picasso! I don't get it. You uncultured swine!
How did Mr. Potato Head even know Picasso's work to make the joke in the first place?
I don't think it matters. The joke's just here to make us laugh.
Either Slink has all these checker pieces set up on the wrong color, or else, and I really hesitate to say this, but I may have been playing checkers wrong my whole life. Do the pieces not go on the black squares?
Says Slinky put all the checkers pieces on the wrong color. Shows a scene of the red pieces on the right spot. Nice job.
Sorry, John Lasseter. No one is reading a supposed 200-page book concerning your 1988 Oscar-winning short, Tin Toy. Nice try, animators.
Pretty sure this is just an Easter egg, my dude.
What do you say I get someone else to watch the sheep tonight?
So the idea of toys having sex? They're still plastic, right? It opens up so many questions about lubricants and chafing and whether these toys were built anatomically correct. I forgot I was watching a kid's movie.
This is just one of those jokes for the adults, and also they're not going to be explaining that stuff, my dude.
Take a look at all those presents. I can't see a thing.
What if Andy were to walk in the bedroom right now, huh? Do you people have any idea the emotional scarring you'd cause if he saw all this? Woody doesn't order the soldiers out to do recon for another 45 seconds or so they literally have no way to know if Andy's approaching, but they're still way out of position.
Like I've said many times before, that never happens, so this can't be a sin.
None of the neighbors see this stuff. Am I the only person in America who spies on his neighbors?
Okay, that's just creepy.
Wait, his totally solid plastic binoculars actually work?
Yeah, you're literally showing that it does, as well as taking this at face value, like you usually do.
It's a board game. Repeat, battleship.
Geez, if not for the surprise Buzz Lightyear later, Andy's gifts would be proof that he's unloved.
I don't know. I mean, I don't always get what I want for my birthday or Christmas, but I still feel loved by my family.
Buzz Lightyear to Star Command. Come in, Star Command.
Do all toys start out thinking they're real, or is Buzz unique in that regard? Did all the other toys have a similar coming-to-grips-with-it experience?
Buzz isn't exactly unique in that regard. This is because in Toy Story 2, Zurg also believes he's real, but he doesn't experience the coming-to-grips-with-it experience like Buzz does.
This is a hilarious moment when Buzz thinks he's going to die, but you're telling me this is the first time since his arrival that his helmet has come off? Andy has had enough time to change his posters and linens and ditch Woody for a new favorite toy, but he hasn't pressed all the buttons yet?
In the scenes where we've seen Andy play with Buzz, he's been seen wearing his helmet, so I can see how this would be a first for him.
Buzz Wilhelm.
This is just you pointing out something in the movie.
Hey, Mom, be right down.
This is why this toys come to life while humans are gone thing would never work. They got bailed out here only because Andy yelled down to his mom.
Well, there have also been moments in these movies where the toys freeze because they hear someone's footsteps.
I'm assuming they're going to Pizza Planet at a decent hour, but they go to a filling station that is practically deserted and a surrounding town that looks totally deserted.
Just because the lights are out, we don't see anyone else in the neighborhood doesn't mean that the town's deserted. I mean, I do a lot of night walks in neighborhoods and don't see a lot of other people, but I know that means those places aren't deserted.
Monstrous stack of pizzas allows Buzz the perfect cover. Also, isn't this plan totally over once he grabs the pizzas and delivers them to whomever? He's gonna see him when he takes the pizzas or when he comes back, right?
But that never happens, so why is this a sin?
Pizza Planet serves a 128-ounce mega gulp.
Pointing things out on the screen.
Also, burgers.
Pointing these out on the screen. Again.
Sid just happens to be at the Pizza Planet because evil always lurks at pizza-themed restaurants.
Or maybe he's here at Pizza Planet because it has an arcade, which is somewhere kids like going to.
I go on to a better place.
Sid puts 1 quarter in and gets a prize on the first pull.
Pointing these out on the screen. Again.
This claw works unlike any other in the history of the prize machine universe. I'm sorry, Sid doesn't win this one. There's no way.
I would have to disagree because even though they are hard, I have won at crane games many times before. For example, I once won 7 stuffed animals from a crane game and got 3 of them on one grab. Not joking.
How would you even begin to get back into position and put this away in time if someone walked into the room right now? Woody's been gone for like not even a day yet and everything falls apart.
But again, that doesn't happen, so why is this a Sid?
Catch this!
That would be an impossible throw for a human to make. Even Dude Perfect would need like 20 or 30 takes.
But this was a sentient toy throwing at me. This is another example of defying logic by Dude.
Okay, let's move!
Either Sid is taking way too long to launch his firecracker buzz, or these misfit toys and Woody put together a fairly elaborate plan way too f***ing quickly.
I'd say it's the former because while Woody and Sid's toys are initiating their plan, Sid is in the backyard getting his launching base set up.
2, 1!
Reach for the sky.
Woody waits much longer than he needs to in order to distract Sid. I mean, that fuse is practically lit already.
Well, when Sid gets distracted by Woody, the small light on the fuse goes out, which means that the fuse wasn't fully lit.
I'm okay with talking sentient toys in a movie. I really am. But I'm not okay with talking sentient toys that can run fast enough to catch up to a truck moving at even the slowest speed.
But if the movie is saying that Woody and Buzz were able to catch up to the truck, then that's what happened.
Toys' plastic fingers have a stronger grip than a dog's jaws. In other words, Woody is puppy chow.
Again, if the movie is saying this is possible, then it's what happened.
Also, RC is a talking sentient toy like the rest of them. There are times in this movie where he freely moves of his own will, so how does this work? Does the remote control supersede RC's own will as a thinking toy? Why doesn't the remote controller have its own separate sentient personality?
To answer your first question, yes it does. As for your second question, I would assume that because the remote is a part of RC, it doesn't have its own sentient personality.
Ah, Disney. Didn't we get enough of that song the year before this came out?
No, because as you can see here, it was used in a lot of other media after The Lion King came out.
I'm sorry, Slink, but in my experience with your sort of toy, you're basically worthless forever now. You'd make a decent instrument for strangulation or accidental maiming of oneself, and that's about it.
But even after this, Slinky is still able to work just fine.
The rocket! The match!
Wow, that match never fell out during all that. Hell, I'm kind of surprised the rocket didn't fall off, but the match? That thing is long gone. And don't get me started on Woody's hat, either.
I have no problem at all with your points about the match and Woody's hat not falling out. Where I do have a problem is your point about the rocket not falling off. Dude, it's literally taped to Buzz, so of course it didn't fall off.
This is where I stop and ask you to ponder one thing. If Sid had never tortured Woody, then Woody and Buzz would never be able to put this plan together and be returned to Andy, which means the movie's sort of saying torture is a necessary evil, and I'm okay with that. And I am not okay with that.
But even if Sid hadn't burned Woody with the magnifying glass, this still would have happened either way. Woody would have realized that the brass hand for Buzz's helmet could be used to light the rocket and get them back to Andy.
The street was dead empty for like forever just a second ago.
In the previous shot, you can see the cars ahead of Woody and Buzz being these cars that already passed them earlier. And here's the end result, everybody. This total was 247, and the sentence will be falling with style. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have a nice day.